on a win this evening against DR Congo. Coach, your thoughts as to how the team played, and also if you compare from the last game that we come from against Namibia.
So first of all, I had a feeling we played an out game today. It's a little bit disappointing that again, when you see today in the stadium, there were more supporters for Congo than for us. So I hope in the future that we will have more support. You see today also when you have these crowds behind you, what that can give. Congo believed more and more. They grew in the game. They were supported, and we had some moments very difficult. And then you need them. You need them. But again, they were not there or not enough, and that's a little bit disappointed. I hope in the future that we can have a better crowd than the last two games. The game, yeah, it was a tough game. It was a difficult game for us, and that's why I like to play those games, because you learn a lot about those games. We knew that we had a little problem because Bafana is not there, so we needed to find a solution. I can't say that it was bad with Foster and with Zakele, but I don't think it was also good. So we need to be prepared for that, because it can happen also in the next games that you need, or that you have that problem. Secondly, I think also that for this team, for the moment, having 5-6 basic players injured, that it's also a little bit too much. Mbazwane is not there, Mokoena is not there, Longwane is not there, and another few. I think it's a little bit too much, and we don't have really a solution for the moment to replace them. So this is also something we have to do in the future, because it can happen in AFCON. It can happen also for the next qualifiers in November. But at the other side, I'm happy with what I saw. I'm happy that we won the game, because that was very important. But again, there were lots of moments in the game that Congo was the better team.
Thank you so much, Coach. Taking questions for Coach. Lorenz?
Coach, you got the win as promised yesterday. You promised a win. But Lyle's now been played in a completely different role as the first game. But it was a good performance as a deep lying forward. Do you envision him playing there, or more as a out-and-out 9?
No, that's why I'm telling a few moments ago. So we're looking for somebody there in that position, and we thought, okay, if there is somebody here in the group, maybe Lyle can do it. So you can't blame him that we didn't see what we wanted to see. This is not his position. It was just trying that maybe with him we could have the solution. But it's not really the solution, not at all. But again, Lyle was important with the goal again. So this is also something very positive that, also in his team in Burnley, they don't have they have 0 points, but he scored already 2 times. So, this is also good for his confidence, and also good for us to have a player who can score, not even on a real occasion to score. But he's there, he's dangerous in the 16, and he showed it again today.
Next question.
Coach, in summary, what do you take out of the 2 games? What exactly did you want to see from the 2 matches in the build-up to the start of the World Cup qualifiers?
Those 2 games now.
Yeah, this camp,
So
close camp.
Namibia and Congo. But as I said, for me it was, I'm very happy of what I saw. That doesn't mean that everything was good, but I saw it. Therefore, again, the game against Namibia was to see new players who didn't play so much. Today was also looking for a solution for that position. And yes, a confirmation of those players who were playing against Morocco and against Liberia. So for me, I'm happy after this camp. Not of performances, not of the results of what. No, just what I saw in the games. Because this was for me very important, and it was the only camp that we could do that. If we were a little bit really unlucky, we could lose 2 times. But even it should be very learnful for me to see some players, to see what we tried that is not succeeding. Okay, this is what this camp was for. But now, for the next camp, it will be different. I will try and hope, hopefully, we don't have so much injuries anymore, that all those players are fit and well in October. And then we will go more and more to a core of players who will play in the qualifiers and maybe also AFCON, so that we can really prepare the team now. There will be not so many changes anymore. We changed enough, we saw enough, and now it's up to us to compose the core of players, who will go to the important games of November and the AFCON in January.
Thanks, Daniel. Velile?
Yes, Coach, congratulations on the victory. I'm looking at the profile of Benin because we're opening against them in the World Cup qualifiers, and I look at DRC as well. You brought on Motiba. He was winning most of the balls aerially and also protecting the ball very well. I guess this is the profile that you've been talking about in terms of having someone who plays differently.
I said already, I think the first day of the camp on the press conference, that Motiba is a profile of player we don't have. So, and I'm very happy with what I saw. Certainly here, the half an hour, 20 minutes he played. We don't have a player like this. And there will be games that we need someone like him. Strong, keeping the ball, dangerous with the head, big. So, okay, this was also, again, what I said already, looking at players that we didn't know so well, put them in the team and see what it gives. So I think Motiba was a positive thing.
Coach,
It's on the front, Maflati, and then you can.
Coach, does it worry you that in the first game we talked about the creativity lacking in the Namibia game, and then today again there looked to be too big a space between our defensive midfielders and our strikers, which at times forced Lyle Foster to drop deeper to collect the balls. How can we address this, I think, creativity issue, as well as just bridging the gap between our strikers and our defensive midfielders, because there looks to be too big a gap?
No, therefore their games were to see what we have to do in the future. So again, in October there will be other players they were already there, but who couldn't be here now because they were injured. So I think that when we have those players, that there's a lot of problems that are already solved. The position of Temba, also the position in front of defense. With Mokoena, we have a good defensive midfielder, but also a guy who can play. So all those things we didn't have, and we looked for, because Mokoena can be injured also in the future. So, and then you look for solutions, and some were good, some were not good. So, but I'm not afraid that we will not be ready for the qualifiers. Certainly not, because again, in October it will be already a big difference with what we saw now in this camp.
Coach, are there players who maybe from these 2 matches didn't meet your expectations?
You know, I first of all, I think it's not this moment or this place to tell that and that. This is something I have to discuss and analyze with my technical staff. So we will tomorrow or after tomorrow, before I go to Belgium, already have a little meeting and see what. And then when I come back, okay, we will analyze this camp, we will analyze the players, and we will see that we have in October a strong team of 23 players with who we can work and go on working to the qualifiers of November and to the AFCON in January.
Kat?
Coach, winning a game like this, even though you're missing some of your key players against a team that's also qualified for the AFCON, does it give you hope that we can compete at the AFCON? We spoke to Ronwen and Pacey, and they seem to think that we won't just hit numbers.
This is something positive. One of the positive things today that is that without really good playing, winning a match. This is important if you can then. Certainly for AFCON. If you can play a bad game but winning, and we did it today. We did it on mentality, certainly. Everybody fight for it. And this is very positive. And if you then win such a game, yeah, okay, then I think you can be happy. And there are some games that you play very good and you lose it. And this is really drama. But when you play not so good and you win it, okay, then you take the victory with you, so the confidence stay. And again, there are some things that we have to do better, and we will do it better next month with the players we will have then at that moment.
Last question, final question. Anyone except Lorenz? Lorenz, you had your hand up. You can wrap it up for us.
Coach, are you confident that Bafana will no longer be bullied by the West Africans and the North Africans due to physical strength now?
I can I don't know. I think that teams like Senegal and Morocco are still a step forward. I'm sure of it. But those teams are playing also a few years together. They have players who play in a very tough competitions, and that's the thing they have. They are better than we have. But again, this is not a guarantee. If tomorrow we play against Senegal, that Senegal will win again. We did it with Cameroon also. But the most important thing is that we still progress now, and therefore again we will progress after that game, after the game next month against Ivory Coast. We will progress and we will be ready. I'm sure of it. We will be ready for qualifiers and for AFCON.
Very last one, Tabiso.
Coach, we saw Lyle Foster was player of the match. Would he have been your player of the match also, or was there anybody else that stood out for you?
You know, no comment. I don't choose the player of the match. For me, the most important thing is the performance of the group.
There you go. On that note, guys, thank you so much.
Merci.
Thank you, Coach Matt.